Good evening, everybody. This is from the inside of Belton Cottage. I don't normally do videos on the inside of the cottage because I like to show you around the gardens and stuff. But tonight I thought I would share with you what I'm making for dinner. Now, Jack, of course, will not be partaking of this vegan meal because he's got a great big bone out there in his doggy bed. It's a bit dark out there, I know, but anyway. So I'm going to take you through to the kitchen. It's about 8:20 or so, 8:30. I have the stove lit in here because it's quite sort of a damp evening out there, and I just thought it would be nice to be able to sit in after I have my dinner and read a book, or just sit and think, just chill out. Now I'm reading a few books at the moment. I've got The Return of the Feminine and the World Soul by Llewellyn Vaughan Lee. That's a brilliant book. And this one here, Tales, Traditions and Folklore of Ireland's Trees. Now, talking of Ireland's trees, I was out today with Jack. You'll see that in the journal. By the way, any of you here on YouTube who have not yet visited the website and seen the daily journal, it's called Cottage Journal. I update that 2 or 3 times a day. So that's to let you know what's happening and, all the kind of things that you put into a journal. So, okay, go through to the kitchen, which is a bit messy. Alright, because I have been cooking. Now, because I didn't light the stove out here until quite late, so I haven't been able to get the oven up hot enough. You can see it's just getting up, sort of. I got all the lights on. Let me just put another light on here. That's better. There, you can see that's better. It needs to go up to about 200 for me to cook any vegetables. But anyway, I had to light it because I needed the hot water. So it actually heats all the hot water in the tank for me and heats the radiators as well. So on the top of the stove, and I've just put the boiling water over this, is bulgar wheat. I've got a dish of bulgar wheat. Now the bulgar wheat is fantastic. Instead of rice or potatoes or pasta, this is it's a little bit like couscous, but it takes a bit longer and it's a bit nuttier. So I'd highly recommend this as the kind of the base for the dinner. It's literally just you put the bulgar wheat into the dish, and then you just cover it with boiling water and you leave it for about 30 minutes to absorb the water, and then it all fluffs up nicely. Now over here you can see where I've been peeling the celeriac. Now I was down in Knockvicar Organic Gardens today. I'm very, very lucky living here because only just down the road is the Organic Gardens, and it's a sort of it's just a fantastic place to go because there's seasonal vegetables all the year round, and it's a lovely friendly place to go. And Jan and Kittia, who I filmed Jan here in the kitchen, I think it was last week or the week before, playing music. They play music down there on a Saturday morning, and Kittia has some beautiful homemade flans for sale. So I'm very blessed really, living where I live. Ireland is a great little place, and especially the west of Ireland. So I was down at the Knockvicar Organic Gardens today. I called in there on the way back from the Forest Park where I was walking Jack, and I was talking with Laszlo. Now Laszlo is the kind of the boss. Should I say the boss? Yes, Laszlo, you're the boss, and you act like the boss. Laszlo runs the organic gardens, and I was chatting with him, and I thought, I could. I seen the celeriac growing, and I thought, I've never even tasted this. Where am I at? So I said to Laszlo, I'd love to try that, but I wouldn't know what to do with that. So Laszlo said, grate it along with an apple and cover it with fresh lemon juice. So that's exactly what I've done. I've used the food processor, which of course is an essential piece of equipment if you're going to be a vegan and you want to eat really well and not be, spending hours in the kitchen. So it just took me a few seconds to grate the celeriac. Now I've used about half of it, so this is half that's left here. I'm going to cover that with cling film and put it in the fridge. And one green apple, Granny Smith apple, and covered it with the juice of half a lemon. You can see the lemon here. So it's absolutely delicious, and I mean delicious. How simple is that? Absolutely gorgeous. So I'll just bring the tea towel with me, because the main event out here will be almost finished. Oh, by the way, this is the catnip. I was saving the seeds from this today. There's a few seeds left, which I'll be adding to my little hoard, which is here. So you can see all the catnip seeds that I've saved. Took me quite a long time. Order early, by the way, because when they're gone, they're gone. Now also, I'll just show you here, I got a salad bag down at Knockbaker. Very good value. It's €2.50, €2.50. And there's a huge bag of all mixed leaves and some herbs as well. And absolutely delicious. So I shall wash all that, put it through the little salad spinner to dry it off, and then put it back in the bag, and it's good to go then 3, 4, 5 days. So out here, switch on the lights. I have an electric cooker, and it looks a bit like a microwave, but it's not. There's steam pouring out of it. And in there I've got my veggies. So it's almost finished. I'm going to turn that off now. Yes, I know it sounds like a microwave too, but it's not. It's a tiny electric cooker, which is quite low in energy use, because of course, look, it's a very small space to actually heat up, whereas a conventional oven would be very big. They'd be 2 or 3 times the size of this. So in here I've got my roasted veg, and the lens is steaming up. So I'll just take this through, pop it on here, turn the stove. So in here, oh, it's started to fry. I've got carrots. Just get a little fork and a little knife, and I'll show you. So I've got carrots, which are roasted now, nice and soft. Sweet potato, which is this, and red onion. And I've I've drizzled it with olive oil. I think this recipe is up on the site anyway. It's on the Belton Cottage Good Life site. And just covered it with masses and masses of spices. Now up here, I've got baskets of spices and herbs. And this one here is the one that I'm using at the moment, because it's got all those lovely Indian spices in it. So I've put just heaps and heaps of different spices on my vegetables. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this out and blitz it for about 30 seconds or less in the Magimix, the food processor, and then that'll turn out with a nice consistency, and I'll be serving that then with the bulgar wheat and my celeriac and apple and lemon salad and this green salad when I've washed it. So there we go. And then at some time before I go to bed, I'll give the kitchen a good tidy up. And Jack will help me, won't you, Jack? You put your little pinny on and help me. Yeah. Now, one thing I wanted to say, I heard today that Leitrim Animal Welfare, which is run by an absolute angel of a woman called Christine Coulson, is in desperate need of funds. It's called Leitrim Animal Welfare Centre. Now, I'm going to be doing a little blog on this at some point in the very near future, so please watch out for it. And I just wanted to say, if it wasn't for Christine and her big heart, my Jack down there would not be here, because that's where I got Jack from. Christine had rescued Jack, and he was in quite a poorly state. Yes, darling, you were. You remember, don't you? You remember Christine? Yes, he does. And he was suffering with depression, and he hadn't eaten for about 2 weeks. And when I went up there to choose a dog, which is it's heartbreaking. I wanted to take every dog home with me, but I looked round, and they were all so needy. And there was only one dog sitting with his back to me, and that was Jack there. And I said, is he for adoption, Christine? And she said, well, not really, no, because he hasn't eaten properly for 2 weeks since he's been here, and he's very down. And she said, well, we're just going to see how we go with him. But anyway, I persuaded her, which didn't take a lot of persuasion really, to let me have him. And I said, look, if there's any problem and he still doesn't eat for me after a few days, I will bring him back and, see if we can't sort it out. The rest, of course, is history, because there's Jack, who loves his food. Yeah, but he does have food issues. He's got to have a full bowl of food all the time. Well, I give him biscuits, and he knows this. Is this your tin, Jack? Is this your tin? Oh, he says yes. Look, are you going to sit down and be a good boy and impress everybody? You going to sit down? Go on then, sit. Oh, you clever boy, clever boy. And I'm going to open this tin with one hand. Let me see if I can do it with one hand. Oh, there we go. And in here, Jack has cream crackers, because he loves cream crackers. And so try to give him low sugar things, nothing too sweet, because we don't want to have to go to the doggy dentist, do we? No, there we go. And he takes them out then to his little bed. So there we go. So I will be doing a little fundraiser for Christine. Now, I actually did a fundraiser for the Leitrim Animal Welfare Centre. It was a few years back, 3 or 4 years back, and I got some incredible donations from subscribers. And what I did, I actually had an open day. So it was during the summer. I had an open gardens open day, and people came from all over Ireland. I mean, it was actually the most heartwarming experience I've ever had. People drove from all four corners of this little island, and you know, that's no mean feat, because if you're down in Cork, as one lady was, um, that's like a 6 or 7 hour drive. Now, the lady who came from Cork actually drove half the way up and then stopped overnight at a B&B in order to be able to drive the rest of the way. So these people came from all over Ireland, and they left donations, and they brought me presents as well, which I wasn't expecting. But in total, we all managed to raise, I think it was €720. And there is a blog somewhere on the site about it, okay? So if you were to type into your search engine Leitrim Animal Welfare, Belton a Cottage, it should come up. You know, there should be something in Google would come up. Have you eaten those already? Oh yeah, he says they were lovely. Look, I'm licking my lips. So, yeah. So I'm going to do another fundraiser, but because it's coming into the mid to late autumn, I'll have to do it really just through the website. But anyway, I'll come up with some interesting idea, and maybe even do a little auction or something. I don't know. If you have any good ideas, let me know, because I am so keen to help. Just to do anything really for Leitrim Animal Welfare. Let me just say this as well. Christine, who has devoted everything to that centre, she lives on the site. She manages to rehome, wait for it, 98% of all the dogs and cats that come to her. 98%. Now, I've been up in the vets in Boyle on several occasions when people have come in with dogs from the Leitrim Animal Welfare Centre to get them their doggy passport, because they were being flown out to countries like Sweden. So Christine works so hard to find homes. I mean, I'm just laughing because I'm thinking to myself, the Irish dog ending up in Sweden, and someone talking in Swedish to it, and the dog looking up thinking, what the hell are they talking about? Eventually, anyway, they would, of course, learn to talk in Swedish, or learn to understand in Swedish, But, yeah, just a totally amazing woman. I have so much respect for that woman. She is an angel on this earth. So, I did actually go onto the website tonight, the Leitrim Animal Welfare website, but she doesn't have a donate button on it. Because I thought, well, that would be the simplest thing to do, just to kind of channel people through to there and just say, would you consider making a donation, even a couple of euros, because everything's going to add up. But she didn't have a donate button on there, so I'm going to have to, like I said, come up with a fundraising idea, and I'm going to kick it off anyway with a bit of a donation myself. So whatever I come up with, I will be putting, my birthday money, which is my birthday's coming up next month. I'll ask my children for cash. Cash only, please. So that will be my birthday gift. Will be a present for Leitrim Animal Welfare, and I'm quite sure Jack will approve. Christine also does boarding, for the animals. So I've actually used the boarding facilities, the kennels, on a couple of occasions, and it's a wonderful resource. And she only I think it was only €8 a night or something like that. Like, it was a small amount, knowing that Jack was going to be looked after in the best possible care. And oh, he loved it. Tail wagging straight out of the car. Like, he wasn't at all resistant about staying there. I did say to him, Jack, I'm not sending you away or anything. You're going to be back home in a couple of days. I think it was only for 2 nights or something. So anyway, there you go. Right, on that note, I'm going to finish because I want to get on now and have my dinner. And look at the time up there. It's getting on for 9 o'clock. So, good night, everyone.